What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me right here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. If it's nerdy, if it's geeky, I'm talking about it. And right now, we're going to talk about the Twilight Zone, Season 2, Episode 5, Among the Downtrodden. And this was where, so I talked about how Episode 1 and 2 were great. And then episode 3 and 4 kind of went down into this little valley. Well, it doesn't immediately spring back up to great. But this is a step up. This is significantly better than episodes 3 and 4. So this one involves a new girl at a girls' boarding school. And she's new and she's, clearly not in with the popular girls. And she's kind of picked on a little bit. But she is interested in superpowers, psychic abilities, telekinesis. This is all stuff that she's interested in. And she befriends the most popular girl in school when she brings to this girl's attention that, hey, you've got some powers that you don't even know about. And then we see this relationship develop, we see this friendship develop, and we see this this relationship where everything is getting questioned develop, where the friend is starting to question, I don't have superpowers, she's the one with the superpowers, she's doing it to me. And then obviously there's this back and forth, and who is the one with the powers, who is the one with the abilities, and what are these abilities, what consequences are these abilities going to have. Listen, we are in a superhero heavy culture right now. Everything is superpowers. Everything is superpowers. I just did a review on Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo did a freaking comic book movie. So I think that it's no surprise, Twilight Zone and Jordan Peele specifically, they like to lampoon's not the right word. They like to kind of dissect what our culture is doing right now. And this season is a lot less heavy-footed as season one was, as far as relevant cultural topics, especially relevant progressive cultural topics. There hasn't been a whole lot of that in this season. But this one is a relevant pop culture topic, right? Twilight Zone is now taking on something that is relevant in our pop culture. And that's the superpowers. Now, they didn't go down the route of a superhero. That was something that was never even discussed. They didn't go down the route of, an Avenger or Justice League type team. They didn't tackle any of that. But what they did tackle was the idea of superpowers in a realistic setting. And what consequences would that have in a realistic setting? And they went as far as to call them superpowers. So, we're talking about psychic abilities. We're talking about telekinesis. We're talking about teleportation. These are things that they talk about in this episode as far as the superpowers that they're exploring. And like I said, how these superpowers can have real consequences to, if they were brought into a real world. I always say to my friends, if there was actually people with superpowers, it would be devastating. It would be devastating to the world. Think Homelander in The Boys. It would be devastating. And this kind of explores that aspect of it. This episode did not have a lot of the dread, a lot of the foreboding that we do get in a lot of your Twilight Zone episodes, but there was some dark stuff in here. I mean, there was teenage murders in this. Teenagers getting murdered. So I guess it's not any darker than like a Friday the 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street or anything, and those are campy as crap. But it's still dark stuff. It's still dark stuff, and that was stuff that they tackled in this. It was better. It was better. And like I said, I've seen the whole season now. I'm going to review each episode. I'm going to try to get it done over the course of the next day or two. And it gets really good again. But this one was better. This one was better. So you know, so far, if I were to have to rank them, you know, episode 1 would be the favorite, episode 2 would be the second favorite, episode 5 is now the third favorite, and then probably 4 than 3. So it's getting better, but it does get really good again. This episode was just kind of a good Twilight Zone episode. It didn't blow my mind. It didn't blow my socks off. This is, you know, this is stuff we've seen before. It's stuff we've seen before. And I like my Twilight Zone. I think I've already said this. I like my Twilight Zone to show me stuff I haven't seen before. So, but I'm one person. That is my opinion. What was your take on episode 5 of the Twilight Zone season 2, Among the Untrodden? Was I too easy on it? Was I too hard on it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for being here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.